Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's Tusk Talk with Ty Postgame Live. What a dramatic game. What a dramatic game. You know what the spread was on this thing? It was 2.5 points. It was 2.5 points, man. And you just had a feeling with it being Oklahoma, you know, especially after what they've had to deal with lately, some of these close losses. They were going to make this a game. They're going to make it interesting. I've told you guys for a while, Arkansas just struggles with these guys, no matter how much better you think Arkansas is, and they are. They're much better than Oklahoma. Better talent on the floor, just a better team from top to bottom, and you knew this was going to be a fight. So Arkansas gets the dub. It was big time. This is a huge win for them. I guess it's a quad 1 win. Someone said in Discord this was a quad 1 win. I hadn't actually looked at that today, but yeah, man. I mean, this is huge. This should, if that is true, if that holds to be true, then that's going to give you a little bit of a jump in the net. So yeah, obviously, I mean, listen, you guys hear me say it, and I'll say it again: a win is a win is a win. I mean, no matter how pretty or ugly or just these guys are not good. Why is this a ball game? You got to realize, man, in Norman, Oklahoma, if you're handing out $2 beer, bro, I mean, it's over. They're going to fill that stadium up. I mean, come on. It's a genius move there in Norman. I don't know what their snow situation and snow to ice. You know, I don't know what that ratio looks like there. Let's just liquor them all up, and so we can get them to show up for this game, so we have some kind of an advantage in our home arena. But whatever, genius. But it didn't work. It backfired, Norman, Oklahoma. It backfired. You're going to take all those cheap $2 beers and cry yourself on your way home. Hopefully you're not driving. Hopefully if you've had a few too many, you're taking an Uber. All right. Again, make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button. You know what it is, man. You got to hit those likes. Got to hit the like button. Hit the like. Hit it. Just hit it right now. Just give it a little. Can you hear that? Just give it a little. That's all you got to do right there. Providing my own sound effects. We got a super chat already. Darius is the Michael Jordan of mid-America. It says, I love that. That's perfect. Oh, I love it. He's just silky smooth. I mean, you know, we can sit here and talk about it all night long. I mean, we've done it all the time. Every one of these post games, even in losses, it's like, yeah, but Acuff is silky smooth. He's so good. They can overcome just about any adversity. And it's mostly because of him. When he's not on the floor, you're concerned about the points. You're concerned a little bit about the offense. I think more of that has to do, that question has come up. What would happen if Acuff somehow magically got into foul trouble? Or I don't even want to say the other thing. But let's just say something keeps him off the floor. Maybe he's got a single half suspension. I don't know. Knock on wood. Then what do you do then? And I think because the way this team is, especially on offense, they're so used to letting him take things over, play the point, see the field or see the floor the way that he does. They just let him take it over. I don't think they would be terrible, but man, it would be really tough for them to adjust to without Acuff on the floor. I mean, you see it when he's on the bench. The points just don't come. I think it would take time to kind of figure out what that would look like if, God forbid, you didn't have him for a couple of games. I hit the light, says Arky56. Dad, it's L-I, it's like L-I-K-E. You're using that speech to text. I know that's what you're doing, Dad. I know that's what you're doing, sir. Pops, Arky56. You're doing this. You're doing this. I hit the like button. And so Siri just sometimes doesn't understand you, or your phone doesn't understand you. I appreciate that, Dad. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the like button. I've been to Bud Walton for a basketball game. Their stadium, is it nasty? Says the frat boy. I've been to Bud Walton. I think this is someone that was at the game drinking those $2 beers. I think the frat boy must be an OU fan. I don't know, man. Enjoy that L. Stadium, is it nasty? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. I think you're an OU fan. Every road win is going to be ugly with this team, says Murer21. The only stat that matters is the W. Well, of course. Yeah, but we got to talk it through, right? We have to understand what is it exactly about this team that is not good on the road. They're just not. I mean, they're not. They're not a good team on the road. Guys, Oklahoma is trash. All right? Oklahoma is trash. But you got to love the fight, man. You got to love what you saw tonight. They trailed by 13 points. It's the largest comeback victory. I've told you guys all year, this is not a team. If they trail by, 12, 13, 14 points, I said this several months ago. They're not the kind of team that's going to climb back and win, even with this offense. If they trail by that amount of points, they haven't shown it, especially on the road. And they did that tonight. It's fantastic. You know, Ty Acuff is the real deal. Yeah. Acuff, the crowd silencer. Oh my gosh, yeah, and hitting that and one free at the end, that was big. Need to get stops and rebounds, lead percent. Yeah, we're gonna get into the numbers. Yeah. Steven says Ty, frat boy was talking to me. I said the SEC buildings. Oh, okay. SEC buildings are nasty, no matter how down. Oh, okay, I see. No matter how down the league is. And he made a joke. I see. All right, well, then I guess I owe him an apology. You just never know. I'm so used to having to dodge shots. Sheesh, threes just wouldn't go in, says born in the 80s. Love that name. Been a blowout if they'd hit a few. It definitely would have changed the way that game was played by both teams. If they could knock down some threes. It was atrocious. The three-point shooting was some of the worst. And I think a lot of it was just they were good looks. The ball just wouldn't drop. It just wouldn't drop in Arkansas's favor. And, so how do you overcome that? Well, you get points in the paint. In Arkansas, what were they shooting? I think they said at one point Arkansas was shooting like 79% from two. That's that is a season high. I'm almost positive on that. They ended up 35 of 63, which overall is a great number. But then when you factor in the outside shooting, it obviously would have been much higher had they made a few more threes like we're used to seeing them do. But this was horrible outside shooting. I felt like they got robbed a little bit. Just the rim, the ball just would not drop, and it did for OU. I mean, it was insane. It was insane. Everything was dropping for Oklahoma in the first half. And listen, they are a good scoring team at home. Okay, they are a good scoring team. You owe them that kind of respect. So shout out to them. Again, appreciate the super chat. Super chats will always take priority. I appreciate that. What's up, Brim? How you doing, man? Could not make an outside shot. You are 100,000% correct. Why does Arkansas play to the level of the competition? They smoked a good Vanderbilt, struggled against LSU and Oklahoma. Yeah, the Vanderbilt game, I think you kind of caught Vandy at a really good time. They were kind of trending down. And Arkansas, again, like those kind of games where they do that, you see the separation in talent and just how good Arkansas is capable of being. Now, we also have to factor in that's at Bud Walton. You're going to spot Arkansas like, I think it's worth 14 points. It's like 12 to 14 points when you play inside Bud Walton. So when you factor all that in and Acuff being Himothy, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. How about the BS goaltend? Yeah, they called that on Brazil. Okay, I do have thoughts on that. I think the rule, it has something to do with the backboard on that specific call. That could have shifted this game. Now, Oklahoma, they would get the goaltend, and no, I'm thinking of the flagrant one. The flagrant one is what could have shifted the game. That was just that was a stupid call. His fingers, Brazil did touch the net, and I guess by definition, that's the call. Like, they have to make that. The ball it did not have, like, watch that replay. It didn't affect the ball whatsoever. And unfortunately, I guess you can't challenge those, and they're changing this year to year. That should be a call you could challenge. That should have been a call you could challenge. But then again, if it's by definition, it may not have even mattered. But he did not. He didn't touch the ball. He didn't grab the net and pull. Now, had he pulled down on the rim, through the net, okay, I could understand that. He just kind of gave it a little tap. That's it. He just little tap. That's all he did. And they called it goaltending. And you could tell the ball wasn't going to drop anyways. That was a horse shit call. The upgraded flagrant one on was that Knox? Boy, that was I don't know. Looked like a basketball play to me. And that was a play. Had they been able to capitalize off the following after making the shot, had they been able to capitalize, let's say they knocked down a three, that could have been a momentum shifting minute there. You know what I mean? Like, that could have been a huge momentum shifter with those drunk ass Oklahoma fans in the stands. You're riding one. You're riding one, right? You're in for it. And luckily Arkansas was able to respond. They got a stop on that following possession. But yeah, was the defense tonight by Arkansas was still terrible. I mean, it's guys, even at home, they're not good on defense. And on the road, they're really they're worse, right? I will say they made a few really good defensive stops. Obviously that stop there at the end was huge. But overall though, the defense is still, I mean, like Cal said, he's got two teams. He's got a really good team, he's got a really bad team. And fortunately, you were kind of somewhere in the middle tonight. And Oklahoma, again, you catch Oklahoma on a neutral floor or at home, I think Arkansas blows them out of the water. It's just, again, the combination of the defense and the and playing OU on the road, playing anybody on the road. Home cooking, says Gyro Robertson. Am I reading that? I'm sorry. Again, y'all's names are so tiny. Says home cooking. Yeah, that was definitely at best a 50-50 call. Shouldn't have called it. It was just a trash call. But whatever. This game was not close because of poor officiating. It wasn't. Arkansas is just not a very good road team. But they found a way. They found a way, baby. It was beautiful. The refs should have just put on Oklahoma jerseys and started playing, says Troll Post. Yeah, what's up, Drooby Dooby Doo Show? Woo Damn Pig, he says. Hey, again, you guys, as you're piling in here, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the notification bell. The goal is for the Wednesday night show to go live tomorrow. And we got a little catching up to do. And I'm hoping I can get Travis and Tim or one of them. If not, it may just be me and you. But the plan is we're going to go live tomorrow night. 6:30 is the plan. My kids are going to be home from school again, so God only knows what my day is going to look like tomorrow. Generally, it doesn't affect me too much, but a record seventh freshman of the week for ACUF incoming, says transplanted Texas. Is that the freshman record? Is it 7 straight? I thought it was more. I thought one of Cal's guys did it at Kentucky as a freshman. Am I mistaken in that? I probably am. If we even shot our average from 3, we win by 20 plus. I don't know about 20 plus, but they definitely won by. They would have won by a larger margin for sure. Oklahoma Casinos lost money to the spread and the refs. Yeah, the spread was 2.5, and Arkansas wins by 4. So if you bet the over there, I came close to making that the prediction. Instead, what did I do? I went with the threes. I went with threes, and Arkansas, oh, man, just really bad. I think I asked the over-under at 18.5 on threes total between both teams combined. And it definitely – Oklahoma did their part. in that department. Arkansas obviously fell short. Again, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all the cool stuff. All right, that's what the cool kids are doing. The cool kids are also joining Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. That's also what they're doing. So if one of my mods are in chat, if you could share that Patreon link, that would be fantastic. 6 total tied the record. Okay, 7 would give Auff the record outright. Wow. Thank you for the update, Texan. Transplanted Texan who's filling us in on that. That's incredible. All right. Let's get in to who the hell's going to get this gold chain, huh? How are we doing this? Because listen, yeah, Auff was incredible, but boy, they certainly closed some things out. You know, a couple of guys turned this thing around, played a little bit better in the second half, and had an impact on this game. Okay, let's start off with Oklahoma's stats really quick. They would shoot 46%. They were at one point shooting like 45% outside. They were knocking down shots. The second half, that changed. First half, they were on fire. If they shot anywhere near close to that, Arkansas doesn't win this game in the second half. Had they shot anywhere as good as they did in the first half, with Reed knocking down 2 of 4, and then Pack, the 35-year-old super duper senior, was 6 of 11 tonight. 6 of 11 outside shooting. There's something about those old heads. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy's close to my age, I think. Pack, 8 of 15, but 6 of 11 outside. Incredible. Just 1 turnover, 2 assists. He would have 22 points. He'd be the leading scorer of this game. I mean, my God, he's probably got an AARP card. But Pack, just great for them. 37% outside is where they would finish. The second half was not good for them outside shooting. They were fantastic at the free throw line, 11 of 12, 92% for Oklahoma. 34 total rebounds. They would win the rebound total plus 3. They had a pretty decent 12 to 12. If you're Oklahoma, you're hating the 12 turnovers, but I mean, whatever, 500. A couple steals, couple blocks. They had 11 offensive boards to Arkansas 7. And like absolutely nobody in foul trouble for either side of the floor, actually. That's why I say I don't think the officiating – you can argue there were certainly some missed calls. But you could argue that on both ends of the floor for Arkansas and for Oklahoma. But, yeah, if you're Oklahoma and you find a way to win this game, there's no doubt Pack is your post-game MVP if you're an Oklahoma YouTuber, which thank God I'm not. But, yeah, he was just incredible for them. Incredible. Took 15 shots. Didn't get any shots at the free throw line, but – a really good game for him. 22 points. 6 of 11 is just something you don't see very often. Arkansas. Here we go, baby. All right, Pringle. Hustled. I don't like how delayed he is when he comes up to help on a screen. I saw that a couple times from him over the last 2 or 3 games. You're seeing that a little bit. He's a little lazy coming up to set up the screen to help guys out outside in the perimeter, kind of lock them or get them unlocked and free them up a little bit to make some space out in the perimeter and make some moves, do something, catch somebody in an ISO, someone out of place. He's so slow coming up to those screens. But did actually on the offensive end have a pretty damn good game for him, okay? In the first 13 minutes, he had 8 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, just 1 turnover, and an assist in the first 13 minutes. Then the next however many, he got 21 total. Then the next half, he didn't do anything, right? So kind of, and he had the 3 fouls. Kind of typical Pringle. I was thinking if Pringle carries this into the second half and they keep feeding him, the distribution in the paint was incredible. I don't know how many of the assists were from a big to a big. Actually, that's kind of tough. We could see the amount of assists they had. Pringle had 1. Brazil had 4. Ewan had 1. So that's 6 assists, and I'm pretty sure at least 5 of those the point total came from another big scoring at the rim, either an alley-oop or something else. And, of course, Auff doing his thing, as far as supplying. The supply and demand on alley-oops tonight was high. And everybody was in on it, but you love to see that play around the post with the ball movement, you guys. You love to see it. And it produced easy buckets. Every big had an alley-oop, I'm pretty sure. We also saw a couple really nice cleanup dunks right there at the rim, right at the post. I think we saw both Pringle and Ewing get one. I'm sure Brazil got one too. I might have missed it, but just great. Better ball movement in the paint is what I love. And it wasn't just the bigs; it was also the guards. Not afraid to distribute around in the paint and around the post. I love that. In Arkansas, it opens things up for them better when they're able to do that, because then it's going to free things up outside. You're going to hopefully get a couple more open looks outside. Oklahoma defensively did everything they could to chase guys out off the perimeter. They definitely keyed in on Auff, and it wasn't enough. You can only hope to contain him. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. You cannot stop Auff. He's so good, as you guys well know. All right, Brazil would end up with just 6 points. We did have 7 rebounds tonight, all of them defensive. No offensive boards for Brazil. No surprise there. Auff, 21 points. My God, 7 of 16. He was 1 of 4 outside. 6 of 7 at the line. 3 rebounds. He almost had another double-double with assists. He ended up with 9. 0 turnovers. Auff. Oh, I love this. 9 assists, 21 points. Knocks down a 3. He's 6 of 7 at the line and 0 turnovers. Love it. Love that effort tonight from Auff. Malik comes off not super on fire, right? I think at one point he was like 1 of 6 or something, and not good. And then he cleans it up. He goes 7 of 15. Yeah, he was 0 for outside. You don't see that very often from him, although on the road he has struggled. 7 of 15, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 turnovers from your freshman. Now, that's according to ESPN. This might get cleaned up. It might be wrong. Carter Knox, I thought, listen, yeah, he, a couple silly fouls. One of them that was upgraded to a flagrant one. But Knox, I thought defensively was pretty solid. Him and Brazil were altering looks around the paint. Billy Richmond tonight, by the way, guys, I don't know. I know he's not double digits in any number. God, trying to say that at 8:30 at night, it's getting tougher with age. He didn't set the stat sheet on fire, but he played so well tonight for the most part. Love, that vertical leap of his. I swear to God, he's got like a 42-inch vertical. It's insane. I loved watching him play tonight. Just 9 points, but he was 4 of 7, 0 for 2 outside. He was 50% at the free throw line, 1 of 2. Arkansas overall at the free throw line, 11 of 13 on the road. That is really good. That's 85%. 56%, 35 of 63 from the floor total. 2 of 17 is abysmal. 2 of 17 shooting outside is really bad. That's not good. And again, one of the reasons why this didn't affect Arkansas as much, first off, Oklahoma couldn't play with the pace. They just couldn't. Arkansas just too fast, too quick up and down the floor. The bigs inside were just too much for Oklahoma. There's just too much here. But the other thing, if you want to point to something, why they were kind of able to overcome that, yeah, the buckets inside, the crazy-ass shooting inside was great. But I'll tell you why they're able to overcome this. 16 assists to just 6 total turnovers. Now, this might change, but I think this is right. 16 assists to just 6 turnovers. That's why you're able to overcome the horrific three-point shooting. 4 steals, 3 blocks, just 7 offensive boards. You're able to overcome some of this simply because you didn't turn the ball over in the ball movement tonight. The ball movement. You want to talk about, well, yeah, but Tyler, they scored all these points in the paint. That's why. Yeah, but how did they get those? Ball movement. Go back and watch the tape. Go back and watch the game. Moving that ball around the post. Confusing Oklahoma and then using your size to just do whatever the hell you wanted on offense. It's nice to do that to somebody else, isn't it? It's always happening to Arkansas. That is huge. 16 assists to 6 turnovers. There's a reason why Arkansas is one of the best assist to turnover ratio teams. And tonight you watch it, you saw exactly why. And you're able to win games when you can do stuff like that despite shooting 12% outside. And you're a team that prides yourself on, you're usually knocking down 9 or 10 threes a game. Right? You're usually shooting north of 35, 36% outside. You shot 12% outside. Had you told me that, had you said, yeah, Ty, they're only going to shoot 12%, well, my first question would be off how many shots. It was just 17. If it was that bad, off like 25 shots, I might have, I don't know. But had you told me that, had you also said, yeah, you're gonna get out rebounded by 3, not a horrific number, and you're only gonna get 13 shots at the free throw line, I would probably assume that was a really tough, ugly game. And I'm not so sure. Like I'm assuming because it's on the road, they would have lost that game. Had you not told me anything else, of course, there's so much more to it, right? But that would be if you're telling me you got a gun to my head, and you're like, all right, say it. Do they win or do they lose with these numbers? I probably would have said they would have lost. But you know what? That's underestimating how good Arkansas is as a team, despite their youth and despite some of these guys still trying to figure out their role. I say some of these guys, plural. It's really just one. It's Pringle, who you feel like has kind of been the odd man out, but he picked it up a little bit tonight. Yeah, it's so impressive. So impressive. If you give me the 16-6 assist to turnover ratio and you fill in the rest of the sheet, then yeah, you're probably going to say Arkansas won the game. And that's what happened. This is a game that the stat sheet, the stats don't lie, homie. Numbers don't lie. And it was great. But of course, you know, what matters is what happens on the floor, effort, and all that other stuff. There's a few things that I think Arkansas, as bad as they've been on defense, Oklahoma is a high-scoring team at home. The defense seemed like when they really needed to step up, especially there towards the end, we got a little bit of that. Now, before the half, once again, you know, you let a team score, you know, on a drive where you're trailing by 13. Sorry, not on a drive. You're trailing by 13. You shrink that lead. You shrink that lead to 46-44, and then you give up, you know, inside whatever it was, 10 seconds, 12 seconds left to go in the first half. You give up another 2. Thank God it was just a 2-pointer. But instead of it being within 2, now it's within 4. Single possession to now not being a single possession. And that's sort of some of the stuff that just irritates the hell out of me. And, you know, those are momentum shifters. Those are things that, you know, you don't have as long as a halftime as you do in football with college basketball. And you're going to ride some of that momentum into the locker room. You know, you see it all the time with Arkansas. When they start closing the gap, and luckily for them, despite being on the road in front of a bunch of drunk-ass Oklahoma fans, they were able to still overcome it. And again, they shrunk that lead from 13 down to 4 in the final couple of minutes, the final several possessions of that first half. And they did still kind of ride that wave that they had going into the second half. So that was really good to see. Effort was there. Again, I've you know, Pringle to me just seems a little slow at times. Really want him to get a little quicker on those screens. Would like to see him jump up out to the perimeter if he's trying to free somebody. Would like to see him move a little faster. But again, that's nitpicking. Overall, I thought Pringle, you know what? Listen, he got 21 minutes. He really, you're not shaking your head at him as much as you were Malik Ewan. Ewan tonight, he just looks so lost on defense. He is so irritating to watch sometimes. He can alter looks. You know, he might even get a block. He didn't have one tonight. But he can alter shots, not as well as Brazil, because Brazil's obviously got that 8-foot reach that he has. I've seen him spot up against guys and play pretty physical at times, but more times than not, he's going to get out-physicaled, and he's going to be lost. You know, sometimes we just blame effort, and I see this all the time. Oh, it's just effort. Dude, he is lost. It's not effort. He's lost. He doesn't know where he's at on the floor sometimes. Watch him. He's looking around like I thought I had help. And now sometimes I think that is the case. Someone probably, if Pringle's on the floor with him, sometimes Pringle's a little late. Like I said, he's slow-footed. He's a little late coming down to assist Ewan on defense. Brazil the same way because Brazil's trying to float out around the perimeter. He thought he would have someone cup down and help him out. Sometimes it's Knox, and Knox, I guess, isn't there. I don't know what they drew up on defense. I don't know that specific, you know, what they're supposed to do there, but it certainly seems like he's always looking for help. And maybe it's not him, but I feel like it is. I feel like he just, if you watch his head, he's looking around. He doesn't know what he's doing. And the thing is he's an athlete, man. I think he could be so much better and more effective on defense. He's just not. Pringle plays pretty, you know, he's got problems. He's going to foul quick. He's going to then ride the bench. You know, he could get probably more minutes if he could, you know, not foul as easily as he does and as often as he does. You know, but again, tonight was a good night for him overall. I mean, yeah, the first half, the first 10, 12 minutes, I thought he played really good, really strong. And then he kind of disappears, right? The rest of those minutes, 10, 12 minutes, he just kind of vanishes. But, yeah, Leak tonight, really impressed with his ability to bounce back the way that he did. Started off kind of weak, and then he found a way to get back in the game. It was great. Yeah, Auff had 0 turnovers. He did. That is incredible. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we got to do I get so lost in talking about just what we witnessed. Let's do it. I mean, obviously, Auff's going to – who else are you going to give it to? Auff's getting the gold chain, the post-game gold chain. There it is. Again, Auff. I don't know how many of these he's won. Like all but maybe 2 or 3. Auff's going to get it. He's got it. Post-game gold chain brought to you by Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Shout out to them for being a sponsor of the Tusk Talk with Ty post-game and all shows. Everything I do. Appreciate him. Travis, Ford, and the boys. It's too easy, right? I guess we got to put the chain on. This signifies, right, when people come in late, did he give out the gold chain? This signifies that he did. Ty did give out the gold chain. Gave it to Auff. Again, Auff, 21 points, 7 of 16, 1 of 4 outside, 6 of 7 at the line, 3 boards, 9 assists, 0 turnovers. I mean, the recipe is there for Arkansas. That's it. That's the recipe. Let Auff cook. Malik Thomas probably going to be top 2 scoring, often. Again, the 3-point shooting, let's hope that is – I don't think it is. I think that this will – God bless, knock on wood again. I think this is an anomaly. I don't see them struggling. I mean, 12%. You can't do that very often and win, okay, especially with the way Arkansas is built. If you're just coming in or before you leave, make sure you hit the like button, all right? Hit the like button. Auff is an absolute stud. Lottery pick. Oh, lottery pick I feel like is – now I think we're going to have to start talking about where at, like in the top 10, top 8. He's going to fly. You need a point guard that sees the entire floor as well as anybody in college basketball. Might be the top point guard as a true freshman in college basketball. He's definitely up there. He's in the conversation. He's in the conversation being one of the top 3, top 4 point guards in college basketball. I'm just going to say it. The comparisons to Allen Iverson, AI. Listen, he's not AI, but if you wanted an 18, 19-year-old version of what AI looked like, this is pretty damn close. I mean, he's just incredible. He's incredible. Bobby Swain says top 5 in my opinion. Okay, we're splitting hairs at this point, Bobby. We're splitting hairs. He's somewhere up there. I think he's top. He might be. He's him. That's all there is to it. He's a better shooter than AI was. Well, John, I don't know about it at that age. I couldn't tell you. But AI, that team, those teams revolved around him, and this is very similar. But his style of play, his handles, he could finish at the rim. He's silky smooth. He's a 3-layer scorer. He could score mid-range, finish at the rim, and he could shoot the outside ball. He's a complete package, and he's silky smooth. The handles are there, and just rarely makes mistakes. He cuts you like a hot knife through butter. It's just so fun to watch. Arizona Tim, what's going on, man? Hey, Ty, I just went out to my backyard and shot 17 threes. I made 4. Yeah. Yeah. I think here's going into the deep numbers. I know you guys dig the deep numbers as we dig into a lot of this. Oklahoma, despite being red hot outside, I think the thing that did kind of surprise me, and it's mostly happened in the second half, they did end up with close to 60 of their points, 60 of their 79 points. It's 56 inside the paint. Points in the paint. I'm sorry, not 60. That was wrong. 30. I don't know why that's Arkansas's number. It was 30 points. I thought, I guess I would have guessed maybe 20 is what I was thinking, 20 points. They ended up with a bit more, but I thought with how hot they were outside, I'm glad that gap closed in the second half, and Arkansas's defense had something to do with that. And that's kind of why I thought, well, actually, maybe they held them to around, 20, 22 points in the paint, and everything else they got outside. Then you think about it, like, oh, they got a lot of points. I say a lot, 79. That's actually not. I think their average is a little bit higher than that. But they end up with 30 points in the paint. And you're not too mad about that, especially with what I already told you, what Arkansas did in the paint, which was 56 to 60, or close to 60. But the second chance points was 16 for Oklahoma. I'm not in love with that. Not in love with that. I don't like 16 second chance points is quite a bit. I don't care if you're playing them on the road or at home. They had just 3 fast break points. Arkansas would end up with just 6. That was surprising. That seems low. Again, another number I would have thought, 14, 18. No, they had 6 fast break points. Arkansas did 17 to 22 on layups, and again, like I already mentioned, the outstanding thing is 56 points. 56 points in the paint, 21 points off your bench, and then 12 opponent turnovers where they got 13 second chance points. Again, Oklahoma had 16. I don't like that, and I don't like the 11 offensive boards, and they were able to score off quite a bit of them. They were 9 of 21 on layups. That's Oklahoma, 9 of 21. That is Arkansas's bigs, just a mismatch. Oklahoma did not stand a chance, and obviously it's not blocks. That's just altering the shot at the rim, and that's what Arkansas did, and that was a huge difference for Oklahoma tonight, or between the two teams. They had 67 total possessions. Arkansas was 65. Oh, man. Just, again, an outstanding game by Arkansas everywhere but the outside shooting. Free throw, you would like more looks at the line, at the charity stripe. The officials were not giving them those fouls. They weren't going to give it to them. In both Oklahoma and Arkansas, you could see the players complaining, trying to plead their case to the ref over and over. And I think some of them were valid for both Oklahoma and Arkansas. They definitely wanted to get to the charity stripe. The officials weren't letting them. They just weren't letting them. They weren't giving it to them. And it makes you wonder, is this a new is home base? Is the SEC home base? The officials, are they the official officials? Are they telling I guess I need to look at the sheets on everyone else's fouls, but I've seemed to have noticed that lately. Like there's less, it's harder to buy a foul now lately. It's harder. And it feels like some new initiative by SEC officiating. And yeah, everyone's complaining, like, how is that not an and one? How is that not a call? And you understand you're not going to always get those 50-50 calls, but there were some that were pretty damn blatant. Guys on the floor, like what are we doing here? Trying to plead their case to the officials. They just weren't giving it to them. It's just weird. And I've noticed that with a couple other games, but I haven't obviously looked at everyone's sheets. I'm sure there's been some games that have, guys are getting 35, I can remember when Muss was here, that was a big complaint by coaches, was that there were too many fouls. Guys getting 40-plus shot attempts at the line. I don't know. Something just felt weird about tonight, but again, it was on both ends of the floor. It wasn't like one team was getting the benefit of the doubt. Again, they ended up with just about the exact same amount of opportunities at the line. And if that's going to be the case, as long as you do that both ways, I'm fine with it. Obviously, you got to call the super duper obvious stuff, but you know what? If that's how you're going to officiate these games, then I'm fine with it. Okay, cool. Let's roll. Let them get a little physical. I'm fine with it. Let them talk their noise. So, yeah, Arkansas again, 56 points in the paint. Outstanding. Love it. Join Discord. Kirk, do me a favor, man. Can you share the Patreon link? I don't have it on me. I don't have it in front of me. Would love to have Nigel Pack on Arkansas. Too bad he's 25. I'm telling you, man. Cal's not wrong when he complains about this stuff. He's not. Wrong one. He's not.
I mean, there are a lot of older gentlemen with beards playing basketball in college right now.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's a problem. You should not have 24 and 25-year-olds playing the game of basketball or football. You just shouldn't. Hell, why don't we just introduce an age limit? Well, no, I guess that's not fair. If you get someone who's maybe a couple years out of high school, and I don't know. I don't know how you fix it. Cope with Pope. Yeah, Arkansas or Kentucky is playing tonight, and I'm probably, what are we at on minutes here? Oh, of course, it's covering my, I can't tell how long I've been live because YouTube in their infinite wisdom has put crap all over my screen. I can't even tell how long I've been live. Have we been long half an hour? Have we been live half an hour? I think we're coming up on it. What do you have against Unk Ty?
I mean, there are a lot of older gentlemen with beards playing basketball in college right now.
That's what I have. That's what it is. Is Kentucky losing? Tell me they're losing. You guys, let's look together. Or some of you probably have the game on another screen, I'm sure. It's the only thing that sucks about doing these posties is I miss stuff like that. Oh, my God. Vanderbilt is killing them. 38-19. 3:40 left to go in the first half. Oh, that is surprising. Oh my gosh, that is surprising. I mean, there's still 3:39 left to go in the half.
See a line of
I thought it would at least be a game at this point. Oh my God, they're down 19 points. Is their 42-year-old former NBA G League player having a bad night? What's going on? No, wait, that's Bama. Sorry. God, y'all, I'm telling you, this week has been crazy. This week has just not been – it honestly feels like a Monday night. That's right. That's Alabama. That's old Nate Oates. God, scumbag. Brandon Walker had a really good take on him, and I really want to dive into that tomorrow night. Vanderbilt is crushing them, though. They're 50% outside, 7 of 14, with just 2 shots at the line, 1 of 2. 23-14 on the boards for Vanderbilt over Kentucky. Oh, my God. See, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen because, I mean, I want them to win, and I want them to carry that into Bud Walton. Carry it into Bud Walton just so we could smash your dreams. It's going to be funny if they lose this. This would drop them to 5-3 in conference play. It would elevate Vanderbilt to 5-3. Yeah, Aberdeen. Someone said Aberdeen's an old guy too. They've got a couple. I am legitimately surprised at this score right now. Again, Vanderbilt 38-19 on top of Kentucky. Holy crap! Did I just hear Geico the Gecko? Oh, you may have. Yeah, it might have popped up on my screen. And now I'm probably gonna not make any money on this show. What did Brim say? Yeah, Vandy's second leading scorer is out. Yeah. Ty, it's not surprising to me. Kentucky's overrated, says Hero Blake. Well, they were playing really good ball lately, Blake. I mean, they were riding a nice little win streak. I did argue, though, that like who have they beaten that's worth a damn? Like, maybe I'll give them beating Tennessee at Tennessee. I'll give them that. But this is that's not a good right now as it stands, because that's how college basketball works. In 4 weeks, who knows, or in 3 or 4 weeks, because we're starting to close in on March, some teams just get hot and they start playing better ball. That's just how this works. 3 games can change everything. Arkansas started off 0-5 in conference play. Everybody, including myself, including you guys in chat, we had written Arkansas off. They were not going to the tournament. Then they go on a Sweet 16 run, right? That's just how this works. They were riding a 5-game win streak with wins over Tennessee at Tennessee and then beating Texas, who looked like they were on a resurgence, right? And then now they had lost. They just come off a close loss to Texas A&M the game before that, and then they turn around after losing to Kentucky. Texas beats Georgia. It beats them by 20 points. The number 21 ranked Bulldogs. The SEC is wide open, and it's so weird. you don't really know what the hell you're getting in this conference anymore. You don't know who's who. And it's really is going to come down, I think, in the final weeks of February, going into March. How many games do you play in March? Arkansas gets like 2, right? Yeah, you get Texas and Missouri. So how you close the year out and kind of where you're playing in those final 4 or 5 games, that's what it's going to boil down to. And listen, I chalked up Oklahoma. You guys know me. I've said for a while Arkansas just struggles against Oklahoma. I said this is probably going to be a loss because they can't beat these guys no matter how good or bad they are. They proved me wrong tonight. They're going to play Kentucky, which will be a quad one, another quad one opportunity. You win that. You beat Mississippi State on the road. They're horrible. I don't have to tell y'all. Have you watched Mississippi State play this year? And who knows by the time you play them, they might get it turned around. It's just how this all works. Probably not, though. That's only a couple games away. At LSU, and then you get hopefully your revenge game against Auburn. Do not get swept. Please don't get swept by Auburn. That's what you have before you go to Tuscaloosa on February 17th. You get Auburn on the 14th. So this was a big game because I just feel like it's a curse thing with Oklahoma. You won it. Now you're on a 3-game win streak. You have an opportunity if you can get by Kentucky. You know they're going to bring the best. You know they're not going to play the way they're playing tonight. You just know they're not. It's probably going to be a tough game. Maybe not. I don't know. Kentucky has, up until their little win streak, looked like shit. Was not very impressed with them at all, even though they went toe-to-toe with Houston for a little bit. While also, or not Houston, sorry. Who the hell was it? I was watching them play before they went on there when they lost back-to-back. Tennessee is who I was trying to say. Tennessee, that game, I watched a little bit of that game. And I thought, all right, Kentucky's turning this thing around. They're playing really good ball. I mean, obviously winning at Tennessee is a big deal. That's a hard place to win at. But now they're riding this 5-game win streak, and then they run into a freaking brick wall in Vanderbilt, and now they're getting absolutely – they're getting curb stomped right now. You just don't know what to expect, man. I'm trying to pull this up here. I was going to look at something, but I can't find it. Something someone said about Kentucky basketball. But anyways, my original point being that you don't know what the hell you're in for this year in the SEC. You just don't. A&M looks good. A&M looks really promising. Now, they went to Tennessee and they lost, and it was a close game. Tennessee held their own against A&M. It was a really good matchup. Really good game. They lost by 5. A&M did. And now they're riding a 3-game win streak. But again, if you look at someone like A&M, probably one of the weakest non-con schedules. And then their introduction into the SEC, they open up against LSU at home, who they barely beat. They go on the road and they do beat Auburn. Obviously, Arkansas wasn't as lucky. They win a close game. They beat Oklahoma. They go to Tennessee, the only real test, and they failed it. In my opinion, maybe Auburn was the test. I don't know. But they failed their test, in my opinion, their only real test so far, and they failed it. They went to Texas, good team, but I don't think is, the team that Tennessee is. At their best, side by side, I think Tennessee is a better team than Texas. Maybe not by much. But then they beat Mississippi State, South Carolina, and now they're at Georgia. They play at Georgia on the 31st. And they just beat South Carolina 92-69, beat the crap out of them. Now they got to go to Georgia. A&M does. Oof, boy, it doesn't get it. Now they hit the rough part of their schedule, right? A&M, they got to go to Georgia, to Bama. They're going to host number 19 Florida, assuming they're still number 19. They're going to host Missouri. Then they got to go to Vanderbilt. It's about to get rough. It's about to get real for A&M. We're going to find out something about A&M. But see, here's the thing. We kind of know what we're in for with Arkansas. And, of course, we watch Arkansas more than anybody, right, as fans and doing what I do. And then just watching college basketball, watching the SEC, we know what we're in for with Arkansas, especially at home. You just, even if it's going to be a hard-fought game, you still feel like they're going to find a way to win that game, or they're going to blow you out of the water. I'm telling you, the end of February going into March, those last 4 games are going to play, I think, a really big role in kind of where you're looking at as far as like seeding and where the selection committee, where they're going to put you. It may be, really could be one of those years where the SEC tournament, some of those games actually matter. Where those games might actually matter. If someone goes on a run who's kind of right there on the edge, it could be Kentucky, right? It could be Kentucky. Especially if they get walloped tonight and they come to Bud Walton and, of course, margin of victory isn't as important, but if they get their teeth kicked in, and I don't even know who they play next, Kentucky, but they could be one of those teams that needs some wins, right, to get them over the edge. I don't know. It's a weird year for the SEC. It just is. Ty, we should be 10-2 going into Bama on the road. I'm telling you, man, Brim, you're not wrong. It's especially with who you have left at home. Wait, did you say going in? I'm sorry. I had something else in my mind when I read your. Well, where'd it go? I can't find it. Did you say Kentucky? We should be. This is what I think ends up happening. Obviously, you got the dub tonight. Do the little refresh there on the stat broadcast. There it is. Yay! Arkansas win 83-79. And then you get Kentucky on January 31st. I'm going to map this out. You're going to beat Kentucky. You're going to go to Mississippi State. You're going to get the dub. You're going to go to LSU. You're going to get the dub. You're going to get revenge against a tough matchup Auburn team. I'm sorry, they were mid up until they played Arkansas. I stand by that, but I think they are playing a little bit better ball. So you get the, hopefully, and I'm going to say that's a 50-50 game for me right now. But you've absolutely got 4 winnable games. I think you win them all going into Tuscaloosa. And you're talking about, at that point, Arkansas likely a top 10 team. Who knows where Alabama's at, because they've been streaky as hell. And if you get a win there, and I'm not going to say you're coasting, but you feel pretty good, because then your next 2 games you've got at home. You got Missouri. Missouri's great at home. On the road, they've been zesty. They've been pretty tough on the road. But I think Arkansas's better. I don't like the matchup for Mizzou. I would take Arkansas to win that game at home. I think they likely split against Missouri. They're going to win that home game, likely lose that last game of the year. But there's so much ball left. We don't know. But then A&M's going to be in your house. Is going to be inside Bud Walton. Cal is just fantastic inside Bud Walton, guys. He's just fantastic. Arkansas naturally is just fantastic inside Bud Walton. We know that. Not fantastic. They just win a lot. Then you go to Florida. I'm going to chalk that as a loss right now. Texas in Bud Walton. I think I would take Arkansas. I know I'd take Arkansas. And then at Missouri, I think you probably drop. The good news about that, I love Saturday 11 a.m. tip-offs. I love them. That's like my favorite thing. I've said for years, I wish they'd bring back Friday night ball. I wish we'd get Friday night basketball. But the next best thing is 11 a.m. Saturday basketball. I love that. I just wish it was inside Bud Walton. Anyways, you got a real opportunity here where that last game against Missouri, it won't matter, right? It won't hurt you if you lose to them, because they're going to be quad 1. And you got some more quad 1 opportunities that are definitely within reach for Arkansas. They are sitting pretty, you guys. Arkansas is sitting pretty. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, baby. Ty, we are beating Kentucky by double digits. Brim, I'm not going to say yet. I'm going to wait. I'm still in shock about this Vanderbilt score. Let's get a recap, or let's get an update on this score. Oh my gosh, Alabama. Yeah, Missouri on the road. Alabama's up 90-62 on Mizzou. Wow. Ass whooping. Belt to ass. Michigan State, who was trailing the Rutgers, I think by as much as 10 earlier, they got the dub at Rutgers. It was an ugly start for them, but they got the win. They won by 9, 88-79. Michigan did hold off Nebraska. That was a big one. That was a big game. I hate to say it, y'all, but the Big Ten, boy, that top 5 in the Big Ten are as good as anybody in the country. Very good. Virginia gets the win on the road against Notre Dame, 102-97. That's 17th ranked Virginia. Where the hell is my Vanderbilt score? Here it is. Halftime, Vandy with a 20-point lead, 43-23. Unbelievable. Vanderbilt banged up. I know Kentucky has been. They have just not looked the part, man. There have been a few games where they did. Again, it looked like they turned it around. They were getting healthy, starting to find their rhythm until they didn't. I'm loving it. Hey, man, I told you guys, I hope I'm wrong as hell about Kentucky. I do not want them. I want them to be down. I want Pope to be their Pelfrey, okay, or their Stan Heath. You know, Pelfrey beat Indiana in the first round of the tournament his first year. So, you know, maybe getting to the Sweet 16 for them is that Pelfrey moment, and that's it. And these are just going to be garbage from here on out. Certainly not off to – listen, they're still 5-2 in conference play. They're still in play. Even if they lose tonight, they're still in play to do some damage. Just based on what we've seen, I can't wait to go back and watch that first half recap on Vandy. I can't wait. Beat Kentucky, Mississippi State, LSU, Auburn, then that Bama game on the road. John Oliver, that could be a huge game. Huge game. Huge implications. Kentucky's going to play like a vintage Rick Pitino Kentucky team on Saturday. You know it's coming. Says Marcus Carlton, 1977. I hope not. King Command says, love how this team plays from behind. Well, yeah, so long as that – Command, I would agree with you, as long as that lead isn't like 14 or more points. But you're right. They played fantastic, and they've had to come from behind. Not quite that large of a deficit, but they have come from behind and found a way to win. That's the difference. They've made some of those games competitive and still lost, but you know, not being able to close it out and win, trailing by as many as 13. That was beautiful. That was great. Ty, have you noticed that Nigel Pack is 25 and Trevon is 23? Yeah, okay. Trevon Brazil's 23. I said 24 and up. All right, he's right at the deadline. All right, is he 20? I thought he was 22. Is he 23? Whatever. That's not 25. Tired of Arkansas playing from behind. Yeah, their starts are terrible. Their slow starts, man. I mean, that's just something they've got to overcome. I don't know how many games have they started off in the first few minutes trailing by 8 or more points, or 6 to 8 points? How often does that happen, and can they ever fix that? Will they ever fix that? Nebraska almost won that game on the road without top two. Oh, they were missing their top 2 scorers? I didn't know that. Are you serious? Damn. Maybe Nebraska is legit. That was at Michigan. And they only lost by 3 points. I didn't know they were missing their top 2 scorers. Holy crap. Wow. Did not know that. Boy, I don't know, y'all. Nebraska, they might be they're not quite the Indiana of college. Well, I guess it kind of is. We talk about the Cinderella story, right? Or Miami of Ohio. Did you guys see that? They're still unbeaten. At least it's Heart Attack Hogs and not Heartbreak Hogs. Yeah, right? Again, a win is a win is a win. You guys know that. A&M schedule been weak AF so far. Could not agree more, John Oliver. Could not agree more. Brim says Arkansas is going to beat Kentucky by double digits. I hope he's right. I hope he's right. Again, I cannot see how long I've been streaming. I don't like this new little layout they have. It's so stupid. I can't see how long I've been streaming. They've got this thing in front of my timer. But I'm going to go ahead. We're going to call it there. I do appreciate you guys. The goal is to be live tomorrow night for Wednesday night. Tusk Talk on Wednesday nights. Yeah. Hopefully, again, we can get the band back together tomorrow night. We have at least 1 or 2 more. Have both Tim and Travis would be awesome. But if not, it might be a solo show. God only knows. But I always look forward to doing it. We're going to get caught up on some stuff. Read an interesting article today about a certain player and money involved. So I want to talk about that tomorrow. And of course, we're going to talk more about the portal and yeah, Arkansas, Kentucky. Like that's obviously something we're gonna discuss as well because we do it all here. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you. Congrats to Acuff for winning his 500th gold chain. I don't know. Acuff is Himothy. I mean, there it is, baby. Congrats to Acuff. What a ball game. Once again, he's just the man. I mean, he is I don't know. He might go down as I know one thing. I'll just say it like this. he wears that Arkansas jersey, him doing what he's doing with that Arkansas jersey on. Golly, just absorb it, okay? Just cherish this, because you're only going to get it for a year. Cherish every time he's got that ball in his possession. Every time you see him walk on the floor, that Razorback with Arkansas across the chest, baby. Just enjoy it. Because we know now in this day and age, the one and done, of course, it's not like a brand new thing, but you know what I'm saying. You know, when you get a guy like that, man, you just need to enjoy it while it lasts. And I hope this team can get its issues on defense figured out. Because if they start playing better defensive ball, if we don't see as many wide open looks outside, if they could figure out how to get stops at the rim like they did the last offensive possession tonight for Oklahoma, that was a huge play at the rim. If they can do that, boy, oh boy, this is a team you're not going to want to deal with, and you're already not going to want to deal with them because of how good they are on the offensive end of the floor. You already don't want to deal with them because of how explosive this offense is. But man, just imagine this team if they get defense figured out, you guys. Oh my God! I mean, we're gonna have to start handing out. I'll give someone a gold chain just for their defensive play. I'll give them the post-game gold chain just for their defensive effort. I will. Let's see it. Defense was a smidge better tonight. Not a lot better, but it was a smidge better. So, yeah. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than the best in the results department, okay? 1,000-plus five-star reviews, 501-244-3667. Listen, there's snow and ice right outside my garage door, and this, thanks to that door, and of course my mini split behind me that's blowing nice warm air, thanks to that door, I'm able to keep the ice cold the freezing temperature outside because of this door that Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, installed for me, for your boy. They can do the same for you down in Central Arkansas, okay? Again, 501-244-3667. Again, 1,000-plus five-star reviews. You best believe they're the best to do it in the state of Arkansas, but they offer their services in Central Arkansas. Shout out to Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon supporters. Man, you guys, maybe I should be giving you the gold chain. Again, you're keeping all this afloat, so I do appreciate you guys. I really do. All right, that's going to be it. Hopefully I'll see you folks tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to it. And, yeah, make sure you have the notification bell clicked and hit the like button on your way out. All right, that's it. You guys be good. Stay warm. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, my God. Where's the button? Where's the button? There it is.